Welcome to the Best Florida Family Law Podcast. My name is Attorney Jonathan Jacobs, and I'm here today to answer one of our audience members' questions. Here it goes. Attorney Jacobs, what do I do when the other party and I can't stand each other and I'm supposed to do pickups and drop-offs at their house? Great question. How about if you do some careful planning in the first place? And instead of having pickups and drop-offs at somebody's house, when you know for certain that you two do not get along and you have a complete disregard for each other, what then can you do? How about if you do pickups and drop-offs when it's the school year at school? So if you are ending your time sharing, you drop off your son or your daughter at school. And then the other party will do the pickup from school, whether it's 3, 4, 5, whatever is most convenient for them. And then when it is holiday time, and unfortunately you might have to see each other or have some other kind of an arrangement other than school, how about if you arrange for a third party to do pickups and drop-offs, a grandmother, grandfather, brother, sister, significant other, or perhaps even better, meet halfway. This is my ultimate suggestion. Meet halfway at a Friendly's, McDonald's, Burger King, Firehouse. I don't mean subs, I mean the actual fire station, or the police station, somewhere where there are cameras and it can be recorded if the other party starts screaming at you and telling you off. We do not really want to have parents meeting in a parking lot and in front of your kids, sticking a phone in somebody's face and recording them acting out and acting irrational and acting unreasonable, because that sort of an activity is inherently provocative. It may benefit you in court for 5 minutes, but what it really does is creates a sort of dramatic situation for your kids that is going to haunt them and be fresh in their minds. They might not be able to think about their parents in the way that people are supposed to think about their parents, as role models, as people who provide them guidance, as people who are supposed to have their best interest in mind. Rather than continuing your war and your squabble and your court case indefinitely for the rest of time, ad infinitum is the Latin term for that, consider careful planning in the first place. Remember the suggestion. If it is during the school year, then perhaps what you can do is have pickups and drop-offs at school, after care, before care, what have you. If this is during holiday time, summertime, Christmas time, spring break, and you and your former spouse or former partner have time sharing that involves a pickup or a drop-off, make sure it's not at your individual houses. Do you really want to go to your ex's house, apartment, townhome, condo, and find them with a significant other and know that your child will be spending time with them and have that sort of a provocative interaction? Do you really want to be in the presence, in front of your kids, of a person from whom you were separated intentionally for a reason? Because your relationship was irretrievably broken, could not be worked out. Do you really want to reimagine that situation, relive that situation over and over again? Or can you be careful? Can you be reasonable? Can you plan from the outset? Suppose you're at mediation or you are working with us and preparing a parenting plan settlement offer. Why not do the proverbial baking into that cake? Why not have pickups and drop-offs carefully managed? And the suggestion, of course, is if you and your former significant other live any more than 10 or 15 minutes apart, make sure the pickups and drop-offs when it's not school time are done at a neutral location, preferably one that has cameras, in case something happens, and do it in between. So if you live 30 minutes apart, do it 15 minutes away. Perhaps if you live at one end of Orlando and your former spouse or former partner lives at the other end of Orlando, meet in the middle. Because traffic is brutal anyway, make it somewhere that really and realistically is 50% of the way there. If you live in Clermont, for example, for those of us that live in Clermont and our clients that live locally, if you live, let's say, closer to the border of Oakland near the Turnpike and the other party lives near downtown Clermont, then perhaps meeting at Costco or meeting over at Target, that's a halfway point. Those two places have cameras. Those two places are essentially public places in a sense where you should not have conflict. It should discourage you from having conflict. The fact that there are bystanders and onlookers, in addition to the fact that you're with your kids and you shouldn't do that anyway, that most likely will encourage you to have peaceful, reasonable, and good co-parenting pickups and drop-offs. Consider first, it is not about your feelings. It is not about how much you can't stand the other person. Even if that is true, that is essentially irrelevant. It is about protecting your children from your own drama. This has been another episode of the Best Florida Family Law Podcast. I enjoy answering listener questions. Please keep them coming. I will answer as many as I can, as often as I can. Nothing that has been stated here is legal advice. This is strictly for entertainment, for informational purposes, and for you to learn a little something about family law, because everybody should know a little something about family law. This is not 1970. You have access to information at your fingertips. You can listen, you can read, you can go to our website, you can listen to my podcasts, you can read case law anywhere at any time. Make sure that you stay informed and think carefully before you make major decisions. Thank you so much.